Guys, welcome back to Unpopular Opinion, and like last year with Elf, I was going to do another video, and I was going to do another project, but given the time of year and the season of greetings, I figured this would be much more appropriate. Now, this topic isn't necessarily an unpopular opinion, but it's more of a raging debate that's been going on for ages. Now, there's two types of people in this world: those who believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and those who are wrong. So now I'm going to throw in my 2 cents into this raging fire of discussion. I'm here to explain that Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie, so sit back, relax, and just let it happen.
Well.
If you don't know, Die Hard is one of the greatest action films ever made, and it launched both Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis into the limelight. So, I know a lot of people who disagree with this always say that just because Die Hard takes place on Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas film. And you know what? I agree that alone doesn't make a movie a Christmas film if it merely takes place on Christmas time. Just because Die Hard is set in the holiday season isn't the sole reason it's a Christmas film, but that does play into it. There are certain requirements that films have to fulfill in order to qualify being about the silly season. There are 5 requirements that must be met for a film to have the coveted title of Christmas movie, and Die Hard has satisfied those requirements beautifully. So, we're just going to go down the list and have a festive time doing so. So without further ado, let's get into it. Requirement number 1 is the film has to take place on or around Christmas. So I know I just said that alone doesn't qualify the movie, but it kind of goes without saying that it's an important and obvious specification, and Die Hard is set on Christmas Eve, and it maybe even carries into Christmas Day, considering how the movie takes place over the span of a few hours, and it might have possibly stretched into midnight, therefore Christmas morning. So, requirement 1 checks out. Requirement number 2 is there has to be a Christmas tree scene in the movie. No Christmas movie is complete, nor really about the holiday, without the glorious view of the Christmas tree, and we see multiple beautiful trees, and the filmmakers go above and beyond this requirement by not only showing the trees, but displaying them with great and splendid lights and decorations. So requirement number 2 is satisfied. Requirement number 3 is the film has to make references or visuals to Santa Claus, elves, reindeers, etc. And again, this checks out. Not only does the movie verbally reference jolly old Saint Nick, but we do see renditions of him in the form of decorations and whatnot. Not to mention, he's brought up a few times in the movie by some of the characters.
Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay? Rudolph and Frosty? Any of these things ring a bell?
And his legendary catchphrase is uttered.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Therefore, indubitably, Die Hard checks requirement number 3. Requirement number 4 is the film has to include Jingle Bells. You don't have to physically see them, however, you do have to hear them. And boy, do we hear those Jingle Bells.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking cook you. I'm gonna fucking eat you.
Christmas cheer, everyone. Well, we do indeed hear those festive bells all throughout the film. They're used to heighten the suspense or add tension to moments before the action sequences, like Tony's death or the final gunfight. So, as they say in Italy, Die Hard checks the box for requirement number 4. To be fair, I never said in Italian, so you can interpret that any way you want. Requirement number 5 is there needs to be Christmas music in the film, and this film has a lot of Christmas classics and songs in its soundtrack, and to solidify how the film is a Christmas movie and a festive holiday cheer full of Christmas spirit, the final moments of the movie, it just displays an awesome Christmas classic, and it just plays to great effect.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
If that doesn't get you into the Christmas spirit, I don't know what does. Okay, so those are the 5 requirements a movie has to complete for it to be considered a Christmas movie, and all check out for Die Hard. But those requirements mean nothing without the Christmas theme, and my friends, many people completely overlook what Die Hard's Christmas theme is, and all jokes and goofiness aside, Die Hard actually has a Christmas moral and theme that fits with the time of the year. You may be scratching your head, wondering what the theme is, and you needn't look further because our main villain says it himself.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Ooh, that's a little inappropriate for a holiday theme, but for real this time, the theme is this.
It's Christmas, Theo. It's the time of miracles.
And in all seriousness, Die Hard actually really does embody how Christmas is the time of miracles, because think about it like this. The film centers around a stubborn New York cop whose marriage is failing, and he tries to salvage it by visiting his estranged bride on the aforementioned holiday. And all the while, the Nakatomi Plaza building is captured in a hostage takeover situation, so the villains can steal millions of dollars from the corporation. And the miracle is that our hero John McClane survives the ordeal, thwarts the villains' plans, and with the exception of Joe Takagi and the arrogant douchebag Ellis, John saves the hostages, returns them safely to their families, and saves his marriage.
Hi, honey.
Well, at least for the next movie. And in the end, that's what really makes Die Hard a Christmas movie. And I'm not joking when I say that I really believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's much more than an action badass film, and I could honestly go on forever talking about how it's probably the greatest action film ever made, and it has arguably the greatest influence on the action genre ever since its release. And those reasons that I listed above truly do illustrate how and why this is much more than a standard action extravaganza.
Well, I hope that's not a hostage.
Guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you took something important from it. Not only that, but I wish you a Merry Christmas. And if you disagree, like always, comment below, let me know. And if there's another film you want me to do or review or lend my take to, please let me know. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Unpopular Opinion.